Hello everybody, my name is Bradley Sutton. I'm the Director of Training here at Helium 10. But like Kevin, I am also an Amazon seller. I've been selling on Amazon for years. I've sold millions of dollars and have documented a lot of my journey on our YouTube channel, Helium 10, on something called Project X. And I also own a lot of other brands as well. So I, at one point, was in the same exact shoes as you. So don't look at me as some kind of software salesman or something. Look at me as an Amazon seller. I was using Helium 10 before I even worked here at Helium 10. And I want to show you some of the methods that I use in order to find the products that I'm selling even now on Amazon. Now, I'm not going to go too in-depth into Helium 10 here as far as the nooks and crannies and exactly how to use it, the nitty-gritty. You can actually see that in any Helium 10 tool. At the very top, there's a button. It says Learn. Hit that Learn button. You'll have very detailed videos on step-by-step how to use Helium 10. In this video, I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of some of the tools and specifically how you can use them with product research or perhaps validating an idea that you have. So let's go ahead and hop into it. The first thing I want you to do, if you haven't done so already, is make sure to install the Helium 10 Chrome extension. If you're watching this here in Freedom Ticket, you definitely have access to it. If you haven't installed it yet, just go to h10.me/extension. You'd come on this page here and then just add it to your Chrome browser. This is really going to be your companion with a lot of the things that you're doing when you're looking for products on Amazon. Once you've got that installed, let me just show you a couple things that happen once you're browsing Amazon. So let's say you typed in coffin shelf to Amazon. That's actually happens to be one of the products that I sell on Amazon, a coffin shelf. I'm going to show you how I found this product in a few minutes here. But take a look here at this page. You can see that there's a lot of other kind of like information that doesn't normally come up when you're on Amazon. So you'll see this little widget here that has the ASIN. The ASIN is the identifier number of every single product on Amazon. You'll notice something here called BSR, the bestseller rank. Kevin talks about that in another session as far as what that means. But you'd have to click into the listing to even see this. You're going to see it right here on the search results page, already giving you an idea of which ones are the top sellers. Now you'll notice that on some of these listings, Amazon itself is giving an estimate of sales. You'll notice here on this one, it says 100 plus bought in last month. Now this is something important to know. This doesn't mean that it sold 100 units. According to Amazon, this is a number that's estimated based on the number of people who bought it. All right, so maybe these 100 people bought 10 coffin shelves each. Well, actually, the number that was sold last month would be 1,000, but the number you see here is 100. It's only going to show up if if more than 50 people have bought it. So in those cases where you don't see a number, just click this 30-day sales data number from Helium 10, and it'll load an estimated number about how many units were actually sold in the last month of this product. So whenever you're just browsing, even when you're shopping on Amazon, sometimes you might see something interesting. You might be wondering, I wonder how many people are buying this product, or is there a lot of competition for this? Make sure to use the Chrome extension to be able to kind of validate those ideas. The most popular part of the Chrome extension is called X-Ray. And to run it, you can be on any search result page or any storefront page. You hit the Helium 10 Chrome extension at the top and then hit X-Ray. And this goes a lot deeper into the details of what's going on here on the products. So you'll see the title and the ASIN and the price, but you'll also see the revenue, the estimated revenue for each of these products. And you'll see other important information such as active sellers. What a lot of people who shop on Amazon don't realize is that these products aren't from Amazon. Kevin talked about that earlier, but a lot of them just come from sellers just like you and me. And sometimes when you see 9 or 10 or 12 sellers on one, that means that there's a bunch of people maybe buying this wholesale, or maybe they're buying it from a department store and reselling it on here. So right away, when you look at X-Ray results, if you see like this one, 9 sellers, that means it's probably not a private label product, all right? But all these ones that say 1 active seller, those are pretty much sellers like you and I. You'll also see the number of reviews, who's got the buy box, the dimensions of the product, and you could actually put other filters here. Like some people like to see, hey, where are these sellers coming from? Are a lot of them from China or India? Maybe I might be competing with one of the factories over there. Are a lot of them from USA? Oh, maybe I'm competing with a lot of people that are private label sellers based here in the United States or whatever country you might be in. You can take a look at that information on X-Ray as well. Now, let's say you you're on this page and you're like, wow, Coffin Shelf is a really great looking market. I want to see like how much potentially would this cost me if I were to go ahead and buy this from China or India or another factory. Well, if you are on X-Ray, you have this button at the top of the X-Ray page called Find Suppliers on Alibaba. This is linked directly with Alibaba.com, the largest sourcing website in the world. And it's taking that keyword that you entered in here, Coffin Shelf, and it's going to Alibaba and looking for suppliers of this product. So right away, I can see here, oh wow, this makeup coffin shelf, if I was looking to source this, it would cost me, it looks like I see one here for $6. I see some others here for $4. Here's one that's $5, but I have a range of what the price might be. Now, of course, I could just click into this and it'll open Alibaba. I'll show you something cool about that in a second, but let's just take that information. You took some quick information here. You're like, hey, this coffin makeup shelf, it would cost me $6 to manufacture. Well, what's the next step? All right, well, you want to know like, well, how much profit could I potentially make on this product? So what I would do is I would go into one of these existing coffin makeup listings. So once I'm on the page, I'm going to hit a button called Profitability Calculator. And what that does is it pulls in all of the information from this listing, you know, the retail price, what's the package size, and allows me to enter information about how much I can source it for. So right here, you'll see, hey, it has a retail price of $38.95. Here's the dimensions. And then it puts just a price that's 20% of the retail price. This doesn't mean that the unit manufacturing cost of this is exactly how much it costs. I need to put the number in here. And do you remember what we had seen in the Alibaba supplier finder? It was $6, right? So if I put $6 here, and I would put what my shipping quote is. I usually leave it here at the $400 per cubic meter. And I would just put something here in other costs. Let's go ahead and put 10% as maybe my advertising costs. And this is just going to give me a really, really rough idea. We're going to have other modules on how to get a little bit more detailed on the profitability of a product. But this at least just tells me, hey, am I in the realm of possibility where I can make some money on this product? And sure enough, take a look at this. If I can get this product at $6 and my shipping cost is this, and I'm going to sell it at $38.95, I can have 33% profit on this. I'll be making over $11 per unit. So that's how fast you can kind of validate the ideas. Now, like I said, this is not like, oh, okay, let me go pull the trigger and order a million of these from Alibaba, and I'm going to go ahead and retire in the Maldives. There's a lot of other steps you have to do to validate it, but at least I know it's possible, all right? On the flip side, if I put in these numbers and I saw a maybe 10% margin, probably I'm like, nah, that's not worth my time of investigating more. I know that there's very low margins on this product, all right? So that's some of the basics of how to use the Chrome extension. Now that's just, hey, I'm browsing on Amazon. So what are some other ways that you can get product ideas for what you can sell on Amazon? I showed you earlier how I was looking on the Alibaba supplier finder. Well, I actually clicked on one of those coffin makeup shelves and went to Alibaba. Let me show you a cool trick that not a lot of people use when they are searching for product ideas. You might go to Alibaba to look for one specific thing. Like right here, I am looking at this coffin makeup shelf, right? But what I suggest doing whenever you're on Alibaba, going down one of these rabbit trails, click on the factory name that is selling this product. All right, so I'm here on their page, and guys, I have never looked at this before. You know, I have never been on this page before, but I guarantee I'm gonna find something that probably you and I both didn't know existed and could be a potential product idea. So I'm just gonna look at what kind of products they have, and I see, let's see, wooden boxes, wooden shelves, wooden trays, a bunch of wooden crafts. Let me look under their wooden crafts category, and let's just take a look here if there's something that strikes our fancy. So I see they have a coffin letterboard. I've actually looked into that. I might actually be making one of those soon. But there's a lot of stuff that I'm seeing here that I didn't know potentially existed, like these special wooden coasters. What is this? Wooden incense burner. I have no idea what this is. I'm going to click into this. Just take a look at what this is. Wooden incense burner, hollow incense holder for aromatherapy. All right. So without even going to Amazon, I'm going to just get a quick idea. Is there potential for this product that 5 minutes ago I did not even know existed? I don't burn incense in my house. Maybe you do and you knew about this product, but I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the Chrome extension again, and I'm going to hit this button, Analyze Product Demand on Amazon. What are some other ways that you can find product opportunity on Amazon? Sure, I could just be browsing when I'm shopping, but that's not the best way, because probably most of the things that you're shopping for might be already kind of saturated if there are a lot of mainstream products. But let me show you a couple of ways where you can find stuff you didn't even know existed potentially, and there's probably opportunity on Amazon. Now, one thing you're going to learn throughout this course is on Amazon, you have to have a couple of things, and one of them is demand. There's got to be demand for the product. Amazon is not Kickstarter or Indiegogo where, hey, let me throw up a brand new invention and all of a sudden create the demand for the product. No, there needs to be existing demand. That's the beauty about Amazon. There's already millions of people searching every day. So the secret to success is, how can I find some of these products or keywords that are in demand, but maybe there's some signs that there's not that much competition, or that the existing competition isn't doing that well. Well, now let's go ahead and hop into the dashboard version of Helium 10 to show you a couple ways that you can do that. The first tool I want to show you guys is Blackbox for products. All right, that is probably the main product research tool that Helium 10 has that most people have been using. And with it, I can look for a specific product that has certain features, right? I'm going to show you guys this in Amazon.com, USA. I know there's a lot of you watching from other countries or who want to sell in other countries, but as you can see from this dropdown, this same tool that I'm using, you can use in Canada, Mexico, Germany, Spain, Italy, France, UK, India, Netherlands, Australia, Japan, UAE, and even one of the most recent ones that we've added is Amazon Brazil. But I'm just going to show you for demonstration purposes, Amazon USA. Let's go ahead and search in a couple of categories. Let's maybe search in the home and kitchen, maybe the kitchen and dining category, and the patio, lawn, and garden. All right. You guys can, of course, choose anything that you want. Now, I said before that success on Amazon has to have existing demand. All right. I can have the most coolest invention in the world that I came up with, like maybe a laptop computer that has a holographic projector that makes me that also gives smell, or some weird thing like that, right? But nobody knows that exists. So nobody's searching for that on Amazon. All right. It doesn't matter how cool the product is. Nobody's going to find it if nobody's searching for it. So what is something that indicates demand for a product? What do you think? Sales. That's right. It's like if a product is being sold, obviously there must be demand for it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have sales, right? So that's what I'm going to go ahead and put here. I'm going to say, hey, I'm looking for something under monthly units and sales that's selling at least, let's just go like 300 units a month. I mean, I'm looking for something that's selling at least 10 a day. Now, I'm going to put here the price. There's no magic number here, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and put between $20 and $50. You put whatever you want. If you're wondering why I put that minimum. Personally, I don't want to sell a product that's like $8 or $9. I have in the past. I do now. But those $8 or $9 products, once I consider the shipping and Amazon fees, there's very, very low profit margins. I actually started selling products in that price range under a case study I called Project 5K, but kind of like just to show that it's available. All right, that, hey, it's possible that you can still make a profit if you don't have enough money to get started on Amazon. But it's not really something I would suggest doing as a rule of thumb. Another thing I'm going to go ahead and do here is I'm going to go ahead under the review count and put a maximum of 150. If we're on a page of search results like collagen peptides, you guys would probably see that the searches, everybody on page 1 has thousands, tens of thousands, literally hundreds of thousands, a couple of them, reviews. All right. If you were to get a brand new product and try and compete with those big boys, it would be impossible to get traction, right? So the fact that I can find a product that's selling 300 units a month, but maybe it only has 50 reviews, 40 reviews, what could that be? Not guaranteed, but what could that be an indication of? Well, it could be an indication that, hey, maybe there aren't a whole bunch of products that have hundreds of thousands of reviews. Everybody's got maybe a low number, so it's kind of like an equal playing ground. Or it could be another indication would be that, hey, maybe there are a few products that have thousands of reviews, but the product that is selling well, that has very low reviews and is new, it has some kind of unique feature or value add that none of the other products do. And thus, it doesn't matter how many reviews the other ones have. These are the things that are not guaranteed, but at least I want to take a look at the product that has that low number of reviews, but those other indications. Another thing I like to do is the number of images. All right, now I'm putting a whole bunch of filters in here that might filter too much stuff out, but let's just give this a try. I'm putting a maximum of 4 images. As you will learn here in Freedom Ticket, you need to have 7 images. All right, any decent Amazon seller knows they need to have a full image stack. If there's a seller out there that only has 1 or 2 or maybe 3 images, probably they don't know what they're doing. First of all, they probably haven't taken the Freedom Ticket. And if they don't know what they're doing and their images are that bad, more times than not, the rest of their listing is also garbage. So if I can find somebody with a super ugly listing that really shouldn't be making sales, but they are, guess what, guys? There's another indication that the competition either is just not that there, or the competition is going to be easy for the pickings for me to steal some of their sales because they don't know how to make a proper listing. So again, this is not a guarantee that this is going to be a great indication, but I at least want to take a look at a product that has less than 150 reviews and only maybe 2 images, but still selling 300 units a month. I had talked about earlier in the Chrome extension that if you see somebody with 10 number of sellers, or see a listing that has 10 sellers, it's probably a wholesale product or arbitrage product or a product that many people are competing for, not private label. So I'm going to go ahead and put maximum 2 sellers on here. And I'm also going to put maximum 1 variation just for this exercise here. There's nothing wrong with creating products that have different colors, but for your very first product, you might not want to have to invest in 10 different colors for your first product or 10 sizes. You just want to invest in something a little bit more simple. So for this exercise, I'm going to do a maximum 1 variation. Let's just go ahead and go with these filters here and see what kind of products come up. All right, take a look at some of these products here. There's some stuff that I don't even know what this is. Like, here is a tumbler knife holder. All right, here is a White House ornament. I don't know what that might mean. Here are 4 quilt hangers for wall display. I don't put quilt on my walls, so I never knew this product existed. But look at this. This product is selling 305 units per month. Here is another listing right here, a docking coaster for a product that exists. That's one thing you'll notice. Some people make accessories for other products on Amazon. Here is a leather knife sharpening strop, S-T-R-O-P. What the heck that is? I have no idea, but guess what? There are 1,000 people a month who know exactly what that is, and they are buying it. So this seller is doing $31,000 a month for this product that 3 minutes ago I didn't even know existed. This is one of the sexy parts of the Amazon process. It's so much fun discovering items that you never knew existed that are selling tens of thousands of dollars for sellers who are just like you and I. So Black Box Products is a great way to look for product opportunity. Is it my favorite way? No. My favorite way is actually looking for keywords. At the end of the day, people are searching with keywords on Amazon. All right, you don't just have some idea in your mind and then automatically it transfers to your Amazon mobile app and it shows you the results. Who knows? Maybe one day in the future, technology like that is going to exist. But for now, if you have an idea in your mind of what you need to buy for your house or for your family member for a gift, what do? You have to translate that idea in your mind or that suggestion from somebody into a what? Into a keyword. And then you type in that keyword or keywords into your Amazon mobile app, into your desktop Amazon, and then you search for the product until you find a product that hits that idea that you originally had in your mind. So the important thing to understand is that Amazon sales are driven a lot by keywords, all right? So what are some trending keywords that are driving sales to products? That is my favorite way of looking for product opportunity. So to do that, I'm going to go into Black Box keywords. Now, we talked about always needing demand for something on Amazon. Demand for products is sales. What would signify demand for a keyword on Amazon? It's not sales. Nobody buys keywords on Amazon, right? What would signify demand of a keyword is what we call search volume. In Helium 10, search volume is defined by the approximate number of times that people have searched for a certain keyword or keyword phrase in the last 30 days, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and put a modifier here of, let's just say I wanna find a keyword that was searched for between 2,000 and 10,000 times. I say again, guys, that these are not magic numbers. You put whatever numbers work for you. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and put a price range of, let's just say between $20 and $50 here on average. What are the prices of the products that are showing up in these search results? And then I'm actually gonna skip ahead to a couple advanced filters that we have here that not a lot of people use, but I want you guys to use from day one. It's the advanced competitor revenue filter. I'm gonna say here, I wanna be able to see at least 5 listings on page 1 in the first 10 results that are doing at least $5,000 a month of revenue, all right? And at the same time, out of the first 10 listings, I want to see a max or a minimum of 5 that have less than 150 reviews. This is very unique. You can only do this in Helium 10, do searches like this. So what I'm saying right now is, hey, let me go ahead and look in the home and kitchen category, all right, for a product or for a keyword, I should say, that has between 2,000 and 10,000 searches a month, at least 5 products out of the top 10 that show up on the search results. And usually those are your main competitors. You're not competing for sales with somebody who's on page 9 or page 8 or page 3 even. You're competing with the people on the top of page 1. So I'm saying, hey, out of those people on the top of page 1, I want to see a keyword where 5 of them are doing at least $5,000 a month, because now I'll know that, hey, there's definitely some demand here. Not only is there a search volume, but there's also products that are being sold on this page. And at the same time, 5 out of those top 10 products, doesn't have to be the same 5 out of the top 10 have at least 100 or at most 150 reviews. So it tells me that it's a newer niche, a newer keyword potentially, where the products that are selling well on that page don't all have thousands of reviews and have been on Amazon for 5-10 years. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, actually, one more thing I'm gonna add. Another thing completely unique to Helium 10 is title density. Title density is a metric that we made up that basically means out of the listings on page 1, how many products have this exact search term in the title. So if I searched on Amazon coffin shelf and the title density is 4, that means on page 1, 4 out of the 50 or however many listings are on page 1 have the exact word coffin shelf. It's another indicator that is really going to help me know how difficult is it going to be for me to get to page 1. If I can find a keyword that has a title density of 0 or 1 or 2, and I actually put that keyword in my title, sometimes as soon as I get on Amazon, I'll be on page 1 for that keyword. So it's a really cool indicator. Let's go ahead and see if any keywords come up with this search that I did here. All right, we've got a few of them here. Take a look at this first one, upside down bookshelf. I don't know why people would want that, but guess what? There's 3,000 people who all want an upside down bookshelf. Here's another one, gold centerpieces for table. Here's a really long keyword. This is what I like to call a keyword that has a lot of buyer intent. All right, there are some keywords you might see that have search volume that are 1 or 2 words, like kitchen or bathroom. I don't think people are buying stuff when they search that on Amazon. If they're typing in such a broad keyword, they're probably just looking for ideas for their kitchen or ideas for their bathroom. The odds that they're gonna see something in the search results and buy it, very slim. But take a look at this keyword. Wall-mounted drying racks for laundry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. If somebody is taking the time to type out such a detailed search term, the odds that they're actually going to see something that they're going to want to buy is exponentially higher than if they just searched laundry or something like that, right? So let's take a look at how these search results look on Amazon. So I just searched wall-mounted drying racks for laundry, and take a look at some of these products that are right here on the top of page 1. This one is number 3 right here on page 1. 600 people have bought it in the last month. How many reviews do you guys see it has here? 14. 14 reviews, brand new product. The one right next to it, page 1, position 4 on this highly searched term. More than 100 people have bought this in the last month. 46 reviews only. It would take you a lot of time to try and find keywords like this that had such high searches, but with the top of the page has results that had so few reviews, meaning that these are newer sellers that are selling on here. So this is a great product niche that I would definitely want to like investigate further to see if it's something that I'd want to sell. Another way to search for products is thinking about potential bundles. Now, bundles are when you take two different products and put it together and offer it in one. So for example, I told you before I was selling coffin shelves. Well, what if I did some research and I saw that, you know what, people who buy coffin shelves, they're very likely to also buy a shelf shaped like a bat, let's just say. And then what I could do is then, hey, knowing that people are buying my coffin shelf and then they're going and buying somebody else's bat shelf, well, what if I had one offering where I offered a coffin and a bat shelf in one? Don't you think that would be kind of cool to know what products are bought together? Let me show you how you can actually do that. The way that you can do that without even using Helium 10 is just by looking at the products on Amazon. So for example, we're still here on this laundry drying rack. Let's go to one that's been selling for a while. Here's one that has about 1,000 reviews. All right, and almost 1,000 people have bought it in the last month. Now, you maybe have noticed this when you're shopping on Amazon, maybe not, but if you scroll down a little bit past the images, a lot of times you're going to see this section that says frequently bought together. What this means, this is from Amazon, and it's saying that people are buying this product, that whatever page you're on, and these other product or products at the same time. In other words, in the same shopping cart experience. On some pages, and a lot more before, but sometimes now, you'll see something that says customer also bought. That's a little bit different. It could mean that, hey, Monday I bought this laundry dryer, and then maybe Wednesday I bought some diapers. That might show up there. That obviously is not too relevant. Did somebody buy both of those products? Yes, but is that a great bundling opportunity? Probably not. But if somebody's buying something in the same shopping cart experience, usually it means there's a lot of buyer intent to buy those products together. So if you take a look here, I'm just looking at frequently bought together, and so people are buying this drying rack together. Oh, this makes total sense with this rack that you hang on the wall to put your mops and brooms, right? So then maybe I would be like, hey, why don't I just go ahead and sell these two products together? Well, what you see here is not the only product that's going to show up. Throughout the month, there are different products that show up in this frequently bought together section. Let me show you how exactly you can see what the history of these products are. So I'm going to take the ASIN that was right here on this page. Remember, every product on Amazon has an ASIN. I'm going to go into Helium 10. I'm still in black box. I'm going to go into this tool called product targeting. So hit the product targeting tab, paste the ASIN, that drying rack that we just saw, and then go ahead and hit search. And then when that comes out, go ahead and filter for frequently bought together. And then now I have a list of 18 products. You see, there was only 2 products showing on the page, but other products have been frequently bought together with that one. And now I see other drying racks. I see a hanger rack that is magnetic and it goes right up against the laundry machine. That looks pretty cool. Here's another kind of rack that holds a ironing board and an iron. Here's another hanging rack for laundry. So a lot of similar products. And so now I just have 18 new potential bundling ideas. And maybe it doesn't make too much sense to have a bundle. Probably this product, I wouldn't make a bundle. These are the larger products. It's going to be a gargantuan sized box that I would have to put both of these into. But this could be product line extensions. Once you start selling a product on Amazon, you know, like I've been selling coffin shelves, I want to have ideas on how I can sell other spooky decor items. So I was actually analyzing the frequently bought together, and that's how we discovered that, hey, people are buying coffin-shaped letterboards. So that's why I put in an order for that. I also saw that people were buying spooky decor bath mats in the same time that they're buying my coffin shelf. Guess what? I launched that product too. So this is a great way to either A, look for an idea for bundling 2 products in one, or B, you're starting to think ahead for your second, third, or fourth product down the line for your brand. Look at the frequently bought together using Helium 10. One last thing I wanted to show you. I'm not going to go too much into keyword research, or we're going to have another session all about that. But there was one aspect of keyword research that it's important to do when you're doing your product research, and this is for the validation. We saw keywords, we saw products that were doing well, right? What was the keyword that we saw? Wall-mounted drying racks for laundry. We saw right there at the top of page 1 that on this keyword, I could probably do pretty well. There was nobody that was just completely dominating the sales. A lot of people had low number of reviews. But here's the thing. On Amazon, you are not just competing for one keyword with your competitors. There's tens, hundreds of keywords that somebody might potentially enter into Amazon to find this product. And you need to know, can I compete on those other keywords? What other keywords are bringing sales to this product? That keyword that we saw only has 2,000 searches a month. And I showed you some products that are selling 600 and 1,000 units a month. So obviously their sales are coming from a wide variety of keywords. I want to know, can I compete on those keywords? How do I know what keywords are driving the sales of this products? Watch this. Right here on the page, I'm just going to hit this button called Keywords right here in the Helium 10 widget. And it's going to open up a tool in Helium 10 called Cerebro. Like I said before, once we get to the keyword research section, when we talk about making your listings, we're going to go deep into how to use Cerebro. But in this instance, I just want to know, what are some of the other keywords that are driving sales for this particular product? So the filters that I'm going to use is I'm going to say, hey, show me a keyword that has at least 500 searches where the organic rank is between 1 and 10, meaning that, hey, this is a highly searched term and that it's at the top of page 1. You don't get to the top of page 1 for a highly searched term unless you are making sales for that keyword. So let's go ahead and apply those filters, and we see 27 keywords come up. No wonder why this product is selling almost 1,000 units a month. They are ranking at the top of the search results for 27 important keywords. And now what I would do is I would go into some of these other keywords, like take a look here. That one that we saw was only 2,000 searches. Look at this one. Wall-mounted drying rack has 12,000 searches a month, and they were ranked position 1. So now I'll go ahead and click on this and take a look on Amazon. All right, how's the competition looking on this keyword? Now, if all of a sudden on this page, I see that everybody has 10,000 reviews and has been on Amazon for 25 years, it might be a little bit harder to get sales on this page, but I'm looking here and I see page 1, position 3. There's that listing that only has 14 reviews. There's a listing, there's only one listing here that has over 1,000 reviews, and they're pretty much the number 1 in the niche. They sold over 1,000 units last month, but at least I know that there is space here in the top 10 for a new player like myself. So look at the keywords on what is driving your sales. I could probably go in and give you guys maybe 10, 15 other product research strategies here. We have a lot of them documented on the Serious Sellers podcast. So make sure to go to sign up for the Serious Sellers podcast. Do a quick search, Serious Sellers podcast, product research masterclass. I give you a lot more ideas on how you can look for product opportunity. And guess what? Even though I have like 25 strategies there's probably still another 100 different ways that you can find product opportunity. There's no one way that is just the best or only way to find products. So I want you guys to really get out there and start looking for product opportunity using Helium 10, going to other websites and seeing what's the demand like there, and trying to find products that you're going to take back to Helium 10 and validate for potentially your first product on Amazon. Hope this session was beneficial for you, and we'll see you in the next one.